My name is James Anderson. My project is called Recycle Your Plastics. Sort of an informal blog to sort of educate and provide fun alternative ways of dealing with your plastic bottles or other type of plastics. Well, I grew up in the middle of the woods outside of Boston, and my parents were always big on. I had 3 brothers, and we always went on little Sunday nature walks, and so the environment was always big. But then I was sort of sitting in the campus center one day, and I was having my lunch, and I was just watching people throwing the plastic bottles away, and I thought, well, that's just ridiculous. You should be putting it in the recycling bin that's right next to it. And so that's sort of where I got the idea. I mean, the environmental theme was always there. I was home for spring break, went to visit friends at Middlebury and Northeastern and Brown, and I was right in the middle of doing this project, and I sort of was looking around and noticing that there was like the hundreds of recycling bins all over the place at all 3 of these schools, and I come back here and there's maybe 10. And I know at Brown it's actually mandatory that every residence hall separates all of their recyclables, or else you get slapped with a big fine. How can I get college students to figure out that you should be recycling your plastic bottles in the nicest way possible without trying to ram it down their throats? What can you do on your campus to increase awareness of recycling? You just buy one of those metal water bottles that has become the new craze nowadays, and fill that with water and carry that around with you. Just trying to be just even a little bit conscious can go a long way. There's an island off the coast of Mexico. It's called Spiral Island, where this British artist basically took 100,000 plastic bottles and roped them all together on this big net and created an island. And it's sand or trees. There's a house on there, and it's a really cool thing. And it's just putting ideas about very fun, creative, alternative ways of recycling if you refuse to recycle your plastic bottles. The Pacific Trash Vortex, which is this 100 million tons of plastic bottles that are just kind of floating around the Pacific, and there's one in the North Atlantic as well. Just so people know, this is what happens when you get your plastic bottle and you throw it away and you don't recycle it. They're not really focused on, hey, what does this little tiny action of me throwing this bottle away versus recycling it do for the environment? And if you just put the idea in their head, it'll cause that moment of hesitation of, oh, maybe I should recycle this bottle instead, without really trying to change how a person lives their life that much. Even if they recycle half the time instead of not at all, that's still better than they were not at all. It's a problem that most college students don't really think about, but it may be one of the bigger problems that a college student is faced with.